Hi, everybody. Welcome to Impact Catalyst. I'm Karen Chasson, Executive Director of the St. Petersburg Foundation. My guest today is Hillary Van Dyke, who is co-founder with Joshua Bean of the Green Book of Tampa Bay.
Yes.
Excited to welcome you here today, Hillary.
Hello, thank you.
And I want to say, full disclosure, this will not be an impartial interview in any sense of the word. I'm a big fan of Hillary and of the Green Book, and interested in bringing their good work to you. And let's go, Hillary. Tell me about the Green Book of Tampa Bay, beginning with how you came up with the concept and why you called it what you called it.
Okay. So again, I'm Hillary Van Dyke, Executive Director of the Green Book of Tampa Bay and co-founder. And my business partner is Joshua Bean. He and his family are out having fun this week, so it's just me. The Green Book of Tampa Bay, we started it in March 2019. He and I are both, I'm a former educator, he's an educator, and we both worked together at Azalea Middle School. We saw a lot as far as we're here in the Sunshine City, but we really felt like the sun doesn't shine on all parts of the city. We were dealing with a lot of things related to students not being as successful as they could be. And a lot of that comes down to just not having the same opportunities as everybody. And so we wanted to think through how can we make some kind of an impact. And through lots of trial and error, we landed on the idea of the Green Book, which basically is a Black-owned business directory that helps Pinellas and Hillsborough residents who care about inequality and inequity be intentional with their spending. The name comes from, you can see my shirt, the Negro Motorist Travel Guide, which was made by Victor Hugo Green during Jim Crow era. It helped Black folks navigate as they traveled from north to south, south to north, so they could find businesses that were either Black-owned or friendly towards Black travelers. It also even told them where they could safely sleep if they had to sleep in the car overnight, things like that. So there is that sad legacy around the name, but we are using it to honor that history, but to provide a similar resource, but it's for everybody to be intentional in their spending.
It's exciting. How many businesses are featured? And tell us how you've got the directory organized.
So at the moment, we have over 800 businesses listed.
That's
It keeps growing and growing. Originally, when we started it in March 2019, we had a really basic WordPress blog that just had lists. We also started the Instagram and Facebook at that time. And then last summer, March 2020, Gypsy Gallardo of One Community reached out to us about making it a more robust website as a part of some work they were doing. So with their help, we expanded it to be an online directory where you can type in what you're looking for and a list of businesses will come up. And right now we're actually working on expanding the website even further, working on a whole new website that is a little more user-friendly for the business owners that'll allow them to update their own listings so they don't have to keep coming to us every time they want a new picture or their hours changed. And then since 2019, we've added TikTok. So we have a Green Book TV TikTok. We have a YouTube channel where we interview business owners. Oh, we have a LinkedIn now too. So you can find us all over the place.
Interesting. It's almost like a little chamber of commerce.
It is like a little teeny chamber of commerce. And I feel like there's a lot of room for partnerships and things like that. We're in the chamber.
You are? You're members of the St. Pete area Greater Chamber?
Mm-hmm. And we did the Entrepreneurial Academy, so we are really familiar with the greenhouse. So that's really helped us expand our work as well.
Oh, that's great. You're a 501c3, however, a nonprofit organization, correct?
Yes.
Do you generate revenue from the company listings?
No, actually. Because we are a 501c3, we really can't have that be the business model. It's a lot of stuff with the IRS with that.
Okay.
But most of our revenue comes from just regular donations by normal humans. We also get a lot of business sponsorships to do work. We've gotten some grant money to do work. One really cool grant we did with the Pinellas Community Foundation was we were able to build 52 websites for business owners who did not have websites. And through that grant, along with the fact that they got websites, that was Black designers, web designers working on that. So it was also like putting money into the pockets of Green Book listed designers. We get money from, merchandise. Like this T-shirt will be up on the website pretty soon as well. And so every time our T-shirts run out, we'll have a whole new T-shirt. So whenever you get that shirt,
Limited edition, so
Yeah,
act now.
literally, like you won't be able to find it again in like 3 months.
That's
So,
smart. That's smart.
yeah. So this is our third T-shirt design. This is my favorite one because it looks like
It's got
the
that nice
original Green
vintage
Book.
look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very-
Yeah, this one
very cool.
We love it. We love
Very
this one.
cool.
And this was designed by Debonair Prince, which is a Black-owned business listed in the directory as well. So, yeah.
So where do you see the project evolving?
Well, firstly, the new directory also has a job board on it. So business owners can list jobs that they might have. I think that'll be really helpful for people. We, of course, want to expand to where we can just do this full time. Being able to go and travel and find more businesses, talk to the business owners, be able to vet all of the businesses in there would be like the dream. And then 2022, we have a lot of really exciting events coming up that we hope folks actually buy tickets to. And a lot of that is through partnership with Studio at 620.
You had a concert and art
Yeah.
exhibition at Studio 620 recently, and I have to say, I was only there for part of it, but it was excellent.
It was, and actually, that's another way that we get revenue is just people like
Just
showing up
hosting
to this
events.
stuff. So that event was, I can't describe it to anyone that wasn't there. It was like literally magical. Because it was Studio at 620 for a month had an exhibit up of Green Book artists. And then that particular night, the artists were there for a panel. And then Sunday performed. And then Siobhan Monique performed. And it was just magic in the air. And then the thing that is really, really cool about our work is that crowd was so diverse, right? So it's all people from all walks of life there to support these business owners. So yeah,
I would agree with that. In fact, I missed most of the performances, but several people who were there, friends of mine, sent me videos, and it was clear that the enthusiasm and the appreciation for the event was very high. That's
it was amazing.
That's
so
wonderful.
we're going to do a couple more events there this year in March and June. So we're excited about that.
So you raised an interesting point a second ago when you talked about a desire to vet all the businesses and learn more about them. So am I to understand that these are self-volunteered listings and, it's up to the customer to engage with the businesses and figure out what they want to do and whether it's good quality, et cetera?
Yeah. We do vet as much as we can through internet, phone calls, things like that. And then if you follow us at Green Book TB on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, you'll also
Say that again, Hillary, please.
Green Book TB on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Okay.
You'll see the businesses that we've tried out personally and our review of them. And then we have a few Green Book ambassadors who do the same thing. So they go out and try out businesses and write up for us, and we post it on our social media as well. So we are working our way through the businesses, but again, 800 plus is a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. What do you see as some of the potential obstacles to, I guess, just people exercising more choice and intentionality and diversity in the businesses that they patronize? What is it? Just lack of proximity? Is it cultural differences? Is it segregation?
So I think it's just really even thinking about the idea of being intentional. If you Google, I don't know, massage therapist, your Google and Yelp are not going to list most of the people that we have listed. So this is just a way for you to have this added layer of research to your efforts. And we're not saying like every single thing that you ever buy should be a Black-owned business, but making that conscious effort once, twice a month is huge, especially when most of the businesses people support are not Black-owned. And then I think one of the only issues I have with people supporting is really remembering that these are normal businesses owned by normal humans, and it isn't about like some charity case. It's just about you taking the extra moment to make sure you're spreading your money around your whole community. And so that's always the thing I ask people to remember, like they are good business owners just like this other person, and you're just making sure that you're intentionally supporting maybe a little further down the street, or maybe a mobile business versus a brick and mortar.
So when you were developing the Green Book and the directory listing, who were you envisioning would be your sort of target customer?
Truthfully, because we're wide-eyed dreamers, every single person who lives in Pinellas County and Hillsborough. But realistically, as we have started to do the work, the main target audience is women of all races. And then about, I think the age range is like 20 something to 45 tend to be the people who engage with us the most. We are definitely still trying to reach out and engage outside of that, but that's our target audience. So we're making sure they're happy while also trying to make other people happy. And then even in the directory itself, the target audience is Black-owned businesses in Pinellas and Hillsborough, but most of those businesses are women-owned. And so it kind of carries through even to the business owner that are target audiences.
Interesting. You know, there's something somewhat unique about the St. Petersburg market. I'll speak to that. I know that better than Hillsborough, and it's a receptive market for some reasons that you actually participated in. The Foundation for Healthy St. Petersburg has done extensive training in anti-racism, sort of racial awareness across the color lines through the Courageous Conversations About Race, the Kingian nonviolence work. I would say upwards of 600 people have done intensive training in that area, which sort of, I think, contributes to an extra level of awareness, receptivity. Are you kind of going back to that network of people to introduce the idea, since there's a basic understanding of why this is important?
I would say we're not really like intentionally reaching out to that audience. One of the biggest ways that we expanded, honestly, was summer of 2020. What happened with George Floyd.
Okay.
We saw huge growth that summer because when people saw what was happening, they just couldn't think of what to do. And a really easy way of what to do is to support Black-owned businesses. And so around here, a couple like influencers posted something, and then it just kind of made us go viral for a moment. And so we've really found, like when we're at, tabling at markets, just the people that come up and thank us for their work is a wide range of humans. And I don't know if I hope that they've participated in some of that work, but I don't know if it was only about that or if it's about some of what they were seeing and thinking through how they can be better for the city, the country that they live in.
So there's a lot of different catalysts for that kind of participation. You're right. There was a huge cultural sea change the summer of 2020 that affected many people's attitudes, and I think started cultivating this idea of allyship and partnership and active participation across racial lines.
We've been very grateful for it. And I think even for me, just being able to be a part of this work has changed me as a person. Watching how brave people are to be entrepreneurs,
it's always impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think even now I've stepped out on my own to be an entrepreneur, and I can say that a lot of it is being inspired by all these people that we're coming into contact with all the time.
Well, congratulations. While you're here, why don't you tell us what your new business is?
Oh, well, I'm the CEO of Invincible Summer Enterprises, LLC. I do diversity, equity, inclusion consulting and training, and then also yoga. And so you can find anything related to that at hillaryvandyke.com. But
Excellent.
Yeah, so like literally these people
inspired
me, changed my life in so many ways, but also just made me brave enough to step out on my own.
That's exciting. So anybody listening, watching today, how can they support Green Book Tampa Bay?
So you can support Green Book of Tampa Bay by going to greenbooktb.org and search for Black-owned business. Literally anything you can imagine, you can find a business for it there. You also can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok at GreenBookTB. Search for us on YouTube, just search Green Book of Tampa Bay, or follow us on LinkedIn as well.
And contributions?
Oh, and donate. If you go to greenbooktv.org, there's a donate button there. All donations, even if it feels like it's just not that much, $5, everything helps. What you give helps us build this directory and keep it and maintain it. So don't think anything is too small. We accept all donations.
Yeah, I noticed you've got some, kind of standard sponsorship categories, but there's just a general donation.
Yeah, there's regular donation. And I didn't even think about that. We have the Friends of Green Book, which is if you want to donate a bigger amount, you can also direct what your funds go to. Like this T-shirt came out of one donation we got for marketing. So.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I was on earlier this morning looking at caterers for the holidays. And
yay.
There was a lot to choose from. It was an impressive array of businesses.
Yeah. And when our new site is up and running, it'll geo-tag it a little easier so you actually can see folks in your area, which was the hope for that site, but it didn't quite work out as perfectly as we wanted it to. You can tell on the map, but now it'll just be like who's in your area, and you can widen that search too.
So it sounds like the website's going to continue to deepen, get better.
Yeah.
But no, that's exciting. It's already really impressive, and I had no idea that there were as many as 800 businesses
it
listed.
Keeps growing. I feel like in the way that the pandemic negatively impacted a lot of folks, I think for a lot of people, they also had this moment to think and breathe and maybe jump into something that they have always wanted to. And so we actually grew through the pandemic. A lot of business owners grew through the pandemic. And so, we're still in a pandemic, but we could see the positives throughout the whole time, which kind of was uplifting. And one thing I'll say, just one story I want to share. The way that we know this works is that one of our business owners who's listed was able to quit her full-time job and start doing her business full-time. And she directly correlates that to Green Book. We posted about her on Instagram and Facebook. And then from there, she just started getting all sorts of appointments and is going from an LLC to an S Corp because it's grown so much. And so that's because people intentionally spent their money with her.
Well, and one of the great things about small businesses is they can be a huge economic driver in the local economy. If every one of these businesses hires an additional person, that can have huge knock-on impact.
And that's, at the end of the day, that is the hope, because what we are finding is there's just not places to work for a lot of the students that we had in the neighborhood that they lived in. And in our head, we're like, well, if we can grow businesses, they'll need to hire people. And maybe some of those people can be youth. So
it all started with two creative educators at Azalea Middle School, Pinellas County Schools.
Yeah.
And look where you are now.
Yeah. And I do want to note that I'm not disparaging Azalea in any way. It was the most amazing work experience I've ever had. Some of my very best friends I met there, had the most amazing boss, who's still my mentor. But of course, some of our students were struggling. And the question is, how do we positively impact the economic vitality in the neighborhood they're living in? And we hope that the Green Book can be a part of that.
Well, that's why these social ventures are so important. It's taking a look at something and figuring out how your intervention could make it better. So no, criticism was inferred from that.
Good.
Hillary, thank you so much. And thanks also to your co-founder, Joshua Bean, who's a delightful person as well. Thanks for spending some time with us today, and really appreciate the work you're doing.
Thank you for having me.
Take care.